What's up, everybody? Hey, TVJ in the building. Look, guys, we're going to be live momentarily. Let's see if we can get this thing to go live and Tallboy get his thing right. Come on now, get this show on the go, Tallboy. It's another Wednesday, and we're here to simplify technology in a language that you can understand. You know how we do it around these parts. Come on, Tallboy, get this thing playing, sir. Get it playing. Get it playing. Yeah, all right. All right, let's see what we got. We got 2 minutes before we're live, y'all. 2 minutes before we're live. Welcome to the Lab Tech Show. Here we go. Here we go. All right, guys, type in the city and state where you're watching from and let us know where you're joining, okay? City and state. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Mama D, I see you. That's my other friend right there. That's my buddy. Hey, Mama D. We got guests today. We got somebody from CES that we met, or Tallboy and Reus met, and they're gonna talk technology with you today. And as you can see, the topics tonight, Lyft Silver, and who else we got? Tap to transfer and nudge. Yeah, so we're going to be live momentarily, so I look forward to seeing you shortly. Let me see, why are we not live over here, Reus?
Uh-oh.
We not live on the YouTubes. What's going on?
We have that issue every week.
Okay, we gotta figure this out. Okay, well, look, this is what we're gonna do. I don't know why this one's not working. Okay. Here we go. Go here. 42 seconds. This is interesting, Reus. Here we go. Hey, we should be live. Okay, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Lab Tech Show. My name is Tallboy, and we'll see you on the other side. Y'all ready? Let's go.
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Tallboy here for another edition of the Lab Tech Show. Thank y'all so much for joining us. And it's another week. We made it. We made it. It is now May, the first week of May. And as always, we're here to simplify technology in a language that you can understand. My name is Tallboy. And like I said, we just trying to break this tech down, and we want you to walk away. At the end of the day, we have some great articles for you, and we even have a guest. So before we get started, let me say hello to a couple of people. Mama D, I see you. She says, hey, Lab Tech family, what's going on? What's going on? Let me see. She says, uh-oh, what's going on over here? Now, we had all of this stuff set up, but now we having issues. Now, that should not be. So let's see, what do we have here? We have Mama D in the building, and let's see. Mama D says, hey. And let's see if we get that over there. Yeah, there we go. And she said, hey, Tallboy TVJ, hit the spot 1006. Hello, fam. How you doing? We also got awesome fun things. He's here. Sheila Baker. Good evening, tall boy. Laura CZ Fitness. Oh my God. Welcome, welcome, welcome. That's what I'm talking about. You guys are showing up, showing out. I appreciate you guys being here on time. Look, before we get started, let us know in the city and the state where you're joining us from. And while you guys are doing all of that, we have a guest today. And Rebus and I, we got a chance to meet. We got a chance to meet some great, cool companies and a CEO, a lot of CEOs that were doing their thing out at CES. But we felt like, hey, with the way things are going on with technology, we thought it would only be right if we started bringing in some guests. And I thought that with this being said, and I was supposed to start the timers because we were trying to do this at an hour long. So let's see if we can get this right. Give me 1 second. Go ahead,
Are
start
you
that time.
recording?
Yes, I am recording. He said, yes, we are recording. Um, but before we get started, we got a guest. Our guest for the evening, he's the main guy in charge of the company that made the Nudge medication tracker. Think of him as the head coach of a team, but instead of sports, his team is focused on creating tools that help people manage their health, specifically by remembering to take their medications. He is spearheading efforts to empower individuals to take control of their well being through intuitive technology. Now, the one thing I did learn about him today was he likes to box, so he knows a thing or two about aiming for a target and knocking them down. And as he says on his LinkedIn profile, he's boldly building the next big thing. Please welcome, guys, Mike Giller. Welcome, Mike. How you doing, sir?
That was like Champ's introduction. I loved it. Loved it. Yeah, doing very well. Very excited about the show.
Uh
We had so much fun at CES. Am I cutting out?
oh. You loved it?
I loved it. Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Thanks.
So you like the box? Tell us a little bit about boxing, a little bit about yourself.
Um, there's so much. But yeah, I boxed in my late 20s. I kind of had a weird childhood with a lot of moving, so I'll just skip past that part. And then in my 20s, I was working out a lot and I was not kind of progressing in the same way. So I'm like, it's just not athletic, like just grunting and moving one joint. So I joined boxing and it was amazing while it lasted. I had a few amateur fights just to kind of get that experience and learn how to get punched in the face. That's actually the most underrated thing. Yeah, and then since then, just been working in different parts around tech, computer science, SaaS, etc. Been developer, been product owner, worked with sales for a long time, and then branched off into entrepreneurial space because I really wanted to build something that makes a difference. And this nudge that really helps people, stick with medications, make sure they have successful treatments. And the big feature we'll talk about is, acknowledge the caregivers and really give them the information that people they care about are on medications as they should be. So that's kind of a very high level of what nudge is, and we can go deeper later
Well,
today.
this show is all about simplifying technology in a
Yeah,
language
that's
that
true.
people can understand. So we don't want to go over everybody's head because we want people to say, "Hey, we got some cool tech, and
Yeah,
this is a perfect use case for, you, your family, or maybe a colleague or a friend, if
yeah,
that makes sense." So we'll talk a little bit about Nudge a little bit later on. But
yep.
before we do that, let's see who's tapping in all over the United States. We got Harrisburg, PA. Let's see, why is it not coming up on the map? We got Highland, New York. Let's see, what do we have? Oh, Lisa Maria's here. Hey, welcome. Let's see, anybody else? No. Kissimmee, Florida is Sheila Baker. She's here. Now these things are supposed to pop up on the map. I don't know what's going on with that one, Rebus. But we're gonna find out where Rebus is momentarily. But before we do all of that, let me tell you what's on tap for the evening. All right. Mm,
Yo, what's up, family? It's your boy TB2, Tall Boy's Avatar, dropping in to give you the lowdown on the tech scene this week. Straight no chaser. First up, peep this. Lyft Silver looking out for our seniors, trying to keep them safe by keeping them out of the driver's seat. They got something cooking to help our aging parents get around without stressing us or themselves. That's real thoughtful, know what I'm saying? Then Samsung Wallet making a play, adding this tap to transfer thingamajig with your physical cards. Sounds like they making it even easier to handle your coins digitally. Gotta love that convenience, right? And hold up, we got the CEO of Nudge Health coming through. We're gonna be talking about their Nudge medication tracking device. Forgetting your pills ain't nothing to play with, so this could be a real game changer for staying on top of your health. Oh yeah, and my main man Reus gonna break down the word of the day, bumptious. You know we keeping it educational and entertaining over here. So set your reminders, tell your people, and don't be late. Tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on YouTube at the Lab Tech Show. You don't want to miss this information. We're going to break it down, keep it real, and walk away more knowledgeable. TB2 tapping out. Peace.
There it is. You guys see what we're going to be talking about. You guys already see the poll question for the day. Would love to get your responses on what you think it is. So before we do all of that, TBJ has some rules to the show. All right. So we have the poll question. We'll do that after Revis and TBJ does what they do, and then we'll start the show. All right, here we go. Check this out. Let's see where we at. Where you at, TBJ? Where you at? You're supposed to be around here somewhere. There he is.
What's up, everybody? TBJ in the building. Look, hopefully you guys all had a great week. We already in the May, y'all. Can y'all believe this? Second quarter. Ow. Look, this is how you can participate in the show. You know, you can watch on your phone or your TV. Now, you know, it kind of makes sense. We want you to comment on your phone, right? I mean, that's the only way to do it. And look, we do have guests in the house. Shout out to my man Mike. Hopefully he's doing well. But look, this is what we need you to do. Let us know how you really feel, all right? This tech is here. And you can't say that Tall Boy and Revis didn't tell you. We're just trying to break it down in a language that you can understand. You know what I'm saying? Now look, we're multi-streaming. So please, if you're on another channel like LinkedIn, Facebook, or another YouTube channel, come on over here to the Lab Tech Show so we can show the comments live on the screen. Now, without further ado, my personal partner, Revis, he's here. And ladies, help him sing his theme song, y'all. It's the sexy man. Mike, you like this beat? What your name is? Uh-oh. What your name is?
Love it.
Revis, don't show out in front of company, all right? Roll tape, Tall Boy. Roll tape.
He's somewhere in the United States, from L.A. to New York. Where are you, Revis? Don't forget to honk the horn.
Revis, what's happening, man? How you doing?
Oh, I done had a long day, but but I'm here.
Long
How you
day.
doing today, TVJ?
Man, I'm large and in charge. It's another week and we in May. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We in May. I mean, 5 months into the year. How's it? You said a long day. What happened? Where you at these days?
I am in Steele, Alabama.
Oh, Steele,
I
Alabama.
started off somewhere in South Carolina, and I went all the way up to Greenville, Tennessee, and I'm all the way down here in Steele, Alabama. Don't ask me where it's at. I'm on I-59 somewhere.
Is it close to Birmingham?
I'm not far from Birmingham.
Okay. But you don't know where it's at.
I have to go to Coleman, Alabama tomorrow morning, and I got to be there like 7 o'clock. And it's still over an hour away.
Okay. An hour away. Okay. Well, Tall Boy was messing up. He had the wrong word of the day on the screen, so you can get on him about that one. But we got a new word of the day, not last week's word. called what they call it, bumptious. Last week was insouciance, right? That was last week's word. But this week's word is called bumptious. We're gonna give you a definition, and we need you to break it down. Can you do that for us?
Yes, I can.
All right. Well, bumptious describes people who are rudely and often noisily confident or over assertive. It can also be applied to actions or behaviors that show this same attitude. Now, look, the way the sentence reads, our host apologized for the bumptious party guest who caused a scene before being asked to leave. I have no idea what that means, Rebus. Can you break that down to where I can understand?
I'm gonna try to. And when I think of bumptious, and I think of the definition, I think of a arrogant person, and I think of people who are pretentious or pompous. And I have been dealing with bumptious people all day.
Hmm.
There are people who are very impatient and they get behind the wheel and they expect people to just move out of their way and cater to them. And so they are very over assertive and they have that type of attitude. And I've been dealing with those people all day.
Are
Bumptious
these
people.
Are these people that are driving that are being overly assertive?
They're being overly assertive and very rude.
We don't like rude people.
No, they act like I ain't driving no big truck.
Ah.
This is a big truck.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I'm not 80,000 pounds, I am a good 72, 74. And I can't stop on a dime. And then you have Sunday drivers out today. And then you have people who aren't Sunday drivers. There's some NASCAR Saturday night drivers. And they're very assertive. They're very rude. And they're very, very bumptious. Now, when I saw this word this morning, I was like, bumptious? That's kind of odd because I thought of rambunctious. And I actually had to look up rambunctious and look up bumptious and kind of compare the two. And the best thing about it is they are the same thing. They're spelled differently, but they are the same thing. And it has to deal with rude and assertive people. And people that are arrogant are usually assertive. And that's why I think of arrogant people when I think of that. And you think about people that's loud. You ever been somewhere and people be on their cell phone and they be talking and they just want you to hear what they're saying?
Oh,
Yeah, that's a
Tall
bumptious
boy do
person.
that all the time. So,
That's a bumptious person.
oh, he bumptious. Oh Lord Jesus. Okay, we got to get on him about that.
And you know, it's kind of rude. And I tend to be bumptious myself. I tend to I tend to talk off kind of loud when I'm on my cell phone too. When I want other people to hear what I say.
Okay. So basically, if someone is cutting you off without giving you a blinker or just being rude as you're driving, they're bumptious people. And if there's someone's talking on the phone when you go into a restaurant or you go into like the DMV and they got their phone on speaker, they're basically bumptious people.
Yeah, well, it's about being loud and rude. It's
Okay.
not just having them on speaker or talking on his cell phone. It's about being loud.
Okay. All right. All right, guys. We're gonna see. What did you guys think? How did Revis do on the word of the day? Let us know if you have your phone. 1, you delivered in a simple way. 2, what did I just listen to? 3, good job. I know people who act like this. Or 4, come on, man, what are you doing? Or 5, this was a tough one, so he gets a pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let us know in the comments. How did Revis do on the word of the day? Mr. Mike, what did you think? How did Revis do on the word of the day?
I'm giving 3. Good job. I know people just like it.
That's what I'm
good
talking
coming
about.
from him. See, that is very good coming from our guest.
Okay. He said, good job. I know people who act like that. See, Mike, you put yourself in these kind of positions because you've seen people that are bumptious, so that's why you say you know people, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, all
Definitely. A
right.
lot of people are bumptious. They come up to me. They're like, you have a useless product. I always take my medication, never miss it. You shouldn't have done this. They're bumptious. So,
Wow. They
yeah.
be
Right,
rude
that's
to you
rude.
about your product?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
Why? Well, we'll talk about your product a little bit later on, but I just
Yeah.
can't see why people would just be rude and not believe in somebody that's out there doing it.
It's it's one of those things that my motto is like, I can't understand these people. I just have to accept that they
Mm,
exist and they won't change their mind. So
okay.
that's the best I can
Well,
say.
look, the audience said 3 just like you, Mike. They
There
said,
you go.
good job. I
There you
know
go.
people who act like this. I'm surprised that Hit the Spot 1006 didn't respond, but neither here nor there. We'll give her a pass.
Right, right.
We're gonna give her a pass. Is there anything that you want to leave us with before you go, or are you gonna hang out?
I have to go because I do have to. I've been driving all day. It
Mm-hmm.
was it was nighttime when I started, and it was about an hour before I pulled over. You
Mm-hmm.
know where I'm at right now. I don't know if I will be able to be in the chat because my 5G is not very good. Actually, it's 4G is not very good. Uh, I also want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. And it doesn't matter if you don't have any children, if you got fur babies, if you got kids that you influence, Happy Mother's Day.
See,
And then,
this is why all the ladies like you, cause you always be smoozing up to the ladies.
right, and I am going home next week so I can start my fishing season.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be taking like 3 days off. And if I get lucky, if Mr. Sexy Man get lucky, I'm gonna make somebody a mother. I'm just saying. Hey, I'm just saying. It's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
All right, all right, Revis. You be good. You be good and be safe on that road. All right.
All right, now you guys take care.
All right, back to you, tall boy. Back to you. Revis is a plum fool, y'all. Plum fool. Back to you, tall boy.
I don't know what to say about this guy, Revis. He does too much. He talking about he want to make somebody a mother. Man, just problems, problems, problems. Mike, what'd you think of the word of the day? Have you used that word before, or is this the first time you've ever used it? You've ever heard of it? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
I love it. I've never used it, but I'm going to make it my mission to use it at least once a day. I think it's so useful. It needs to be better understood by people. So, and if you're being called out, you're like, oh, sorry, maybe I'll
Yeah.
listen a little.
Yeah, stop being bumptious, as they say. Stop
Oh,
being bumptious. All right. So, look, we got a poll question that's already in the YouTube comments. I'm not sure if you're following along on a second device or not, but if you're not, you can participate here. Let us know in the comments. What should people do to embrace tech? What should people do to embrace tech? We got 6 answers or 6 responses. 1, they should watch more YouTube videos. 2, companies should do a better job explaining what they offer. 3, read the tech blogs. 4, news publications should focus more on it. 5, I think we are fine in adjusting accordingly. Or 6, have a celebrity talk about it. 1 through 6, let us know in the comments. What should people do to embrace tech? What do you think now that you see these options? What do you think people should do to embrace technology, Mike?
You know what? Last time I kind of said it first, and I already voted, so one of my votes is counted in. So, is it okay if I
Oh yeah,
answer after we?
this is different. So the one on
Yeah.
YouTube is one, but then if you make the
Oh, okay.
comment in YouTube, I mean on the in the comment section, then it'll pop up over here.
Got it. Got it. All right. All right. Then I'll share my thoughts. I think we're adjusting just fine, and I'm saying that as a non-tech guy from a user's point of view, because everybody in corporate should absolutely focus on the user and the customer and the person. So we have user experience, user research, user centered. There's so many corporate words. You know, bumptious should be one of them. But the whole point is focus on the customer and come meet the customer where they're at. So that's why I absolutely don't think people should do homework to embrace tech. Tech people should make it so intuitive that it's just natural.
Interesting. Awesome fun things. He says definitely, and I agree with awesome fun things. He says definitely not the celebrities talking about it. Nobody needs that. So whatever you do, just do not add celebrity to this. And it's funny
Celebrities
because
try to talk to us about Bitcoins and
uh,
other coins.
you know, it's funny because, in my previous life, I knew a lot of influencers and celebrities. And I was like, well, maybe I can get them to come to the show to, embrace the tech and maybe that would bring some of them over. But I said, no, I kind of reserved from that, if that makes sense. And I just wanted to naturally build this show up from ground up. So no different from you building Nudge, if that makes sense. So I've kind of refrained from the celebrity thing. I thought maybe some of the ladies might like some of the artists that I was bringing on, but I told myself, no, we're not going to do that. So I've kind of refrained. So the audience says, just like you, 5, I think we're fine and adjusting accordingly. No knock to it. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and jump into this show, Mike, if you don't mind. And we're going to, let me see where we at here. Yeah, there we go. We're going to talk about a few things. Lyft Silver, tap to transfer, and Nudge. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into the show. And we're going to go right into, seniors. Hey, that time is coming, guys. And there's going to be a time to where you're no longer going to be able to drive, if that makes any sense. And basically, Lyft is saying that they want to do something to help the seniors out, or not necessarily seniors, but just people that are just getting up there in age that, that either don't want to drive or can't drive anymore. And what I mean by that is Lyft Silver wants to keep your aging parents off the road. All right. So let me break it down for you. They said that Lyft rolled out a new service called Lyft Silver. It's basically designed to make it easier for older people who aren't driving anymore to still get around. They made some changes to the app to make it simpler to use, like bigger text and easier navigation. Plus, they're prioritizing rides in vehicles that are easier to get in and out of. And they said they've also have US based customer support available during the day if anyone needs help. And there's an option to share your location with family or caregivers, which can give everyone some peace of mind. Another handy thing is that it's now simpler for family and friends to send ride credits to their loved ones through the app. And the Lyft Silver service just launched in a few cities, and Atlanta and New York is one of them. So it sounds like, if this is something like that could benefit you or someone you know, it's now available and it's here. And it's all about providing reliable transportation and helping seniors stay independent and connected in the community. This is a lot to unpack. And before I ask you your thoughts on this, Mike, I want to ask the audience to let us know what they think, and then I'll ask you your thoughts on what you just saw and what you read. All right. In the comments, let me know, what do you think of Lyft Silver? Do you like this? One, this is great for seniors. Two, this is a money grab. Three, if they aren't getting a cheaper price, why do it? Four, this needs a marketing campaign for it to grow. Five, if they need a ride, this is an option. Or six, if the driver isn't trained, why bother? It's another ride. 1 through 6, let me know in the comments. What do you think of Lyft Silver? Mike, your thoughts?
I think this needs a marketing campaign for it to grow. Because when they say seniors, there's such a broad range. Where some people, smart as a whip, they'll absolutely drive. They have no problems. They have a clean record. They're very safe on the road. Then there's people who cannot drive, have mobility issues, can't get in and out. They usually have this problem solved in some way, either with some kind of medical transportation, specialized transportation, etc. So that's kind of an existing fulfilled market. And I think if Lyft, they're kind of looking at maybe transition seniors, maybe who shouldn't drive, but again, just from my experience and knowledge of human nature, most of them will disagree that they shouldn't drive. That will cause a huge issue, right? So they need some kind of marketing campaign to maybe educate usually adult kids to help them send credits and get where they're going safely. But again, I don't think, a senior sitting there, it's like refreshing their Lyft app, trying to catch a ride when they still have technically a legal license and a car in the driveway.
Sheila Baker says, I think this is a great idea. Mama D says, I'm proud to be a senior. Some don't make it to this age. I agree, Mama D, says Sheila Baker. So now my question is, Mama D, since that you're a senior, would you be open to using Lyft Silver as opposed to you driving your car or waiting on your family to take you to and from? Mama D, Sheila Baker, anybody else that classifies themselves as a senior, do you see yourself using a service like this, or do you feel like, I don't know how all this Lyft stuff works, I'm not getting ready to get in a stranger's car? Like, what are your thoughts on that? For me, I think that this is good, but a couple things here. On my side, I look at it as, if the driver isn't trained to deal with seniors, because you got to remember, you're ordering the app, and yes, it's coming in bigger text, right? Yes, it's giving you that. But if they're not accustomed to dealing with somebody that has a walker, that has a cane, they're probably just saying, hurry up and get in the car because your ride is started. But you have to be patient and you have to be understanding of that person. If they're not trained, it's just another ride. From my thought process, right? It takes an extra level of sensitivity. I think that personally, this could be a money grab, but to Mike's point, this does need a marketing campaign. So I'm all over the place with it, but there's no right or wrong answer. It's just, these are things that we have to think about when you're doing this, right? So yes, this is great for seniors, especially for people who don't have a car, that live in a city that already has this rolled out. This can help them get to and from the grocery store, their doctor's appointments, get to and from a friend's house or to their places of worship, right? So that's great. But then they also have to be able to embrace it as well. So once again, that all boils down to what Mike said earlier about a marketing campaign.
Yeah. And one thing I want to add is I want to give complete big props to Lyft for even, thinking about that audience and trying to make it easy. And, I actually really hope they succeed in this.
This says, Sheila Baker says, I'm not ready to give up my independence yet, but I have taken Uber before. Now, like I said, taking an Uber, now I don't know how many seniors are taking an Uber to the airport, but saying you're going to church because you don't have a car, saying that you need to get to the grocery store. I think that this is something that would be ideal, if that makes sense. So this is something that, it's another avenue, or it's another option to be able to move to and from. Let's see what the audience says. The audience says, "Oh, we got a tie." Come on, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this. Um, they say if they need a ride, this is an option, and this definitely needs a marketing campaign for it to grow. Not mad at that comment or that statement. Shirley P, she said that's where the issues will arise. She says the drivers are not sympathetic with elderly with cognitive impairment or disability. Um, yeah, I think that that's something that we have to be mindful of. They have to have drivers that are trained, because if they have a bad experience, unfortunately, those seniors are going to say they're not going to do it anymore, right? Mama D says, I'll give it a try. I hear you. Sheila Baker says, a senior to use Silver Lyft must understand technology to order it. Um, Maybe somebody is showing them already how they may have Lyft already on their phone, but now this is geared towards you. Now, the good thing is if you connect it with your caregiver or a family member, now they can follow you and see where you're at. I mean, it's no different from, you sharing your location on Google Maps, but how many people know how to share your location on Google Maps, right? Now you can link it to a family member or a caregiver, and then now they can see you're 10 minutes out, 15 minutes out. And then also the customer service part, they'll stay with you on the phone, and it's an actual US representative as opposed to a chat bot that we're accustomed to dealing with other programs or other companies. So that's something to think about, that they said that was a great feature. So it definitely needs to be explained a little bit more clear. Um, Let me see. I hate that I missed what the she said she said, what is Lyft Silver? Are the price point less for seniors? That part they did not say, Shirley. They did not say what the price point was. And that's why I said, this is if it isn't gonna give you a cheaper price, why do it? So they did not say that the prices are gonna be a little bit cheaper for seniors. I don't even know how you do that. I mean, of course, you have to submit your birthday so they'll know that age 62 or 55 plus and older, you're considered a senior, but I don't know. So that's kind of Lyft Silver. Seniors, here's an alternative way for you to get to and from your doctor's appointments or to your destinations if you don't have a car, and you can connect family members and caregivers. So Lyft Silver, it's already out. It's in a handful of states, and it should be rolling out to the United States before the end of the year. Our next topic that we have now, look, this is I don't know how many people are going to really like this next topic. People already don't like Zelle and Cash App and all that other stuff. So now we have something that's a little bit more fancier, shall we say. And what I mean by that is Samsung Tap to Transfer. Now, this is only available on Samsung, but I'm sharing this with you because I want you to know that because one company did this, that means other companies plan on, if this is successful, it plans on rolling this out as well. Samsung Tap to Transfer. Check this out, guys. They say Samsung Wallet adds tap to transfer feature that works with your physical cards as well. So Samsung's got this new thing coming out with their wallet called Tap to Transfer. Basically, if you got a debit card in your Samsung wallet, you can just tap your phone against someone else's phone or one of those card readers, and boom, money is sent. And then the cool part is not just for Samsung users. They're saying that it'll work with other digital wallets as well. And they're also saying that as well as digital wallets. Now, if the person isn't right there with you, but they have Samsung Wallet and their phone number is linked up, you can just search them up and send money that way. Make it real easy for sending a little something to a family or friend without all the fuss. They're also saying that this tap to transfer feature is dropping later this month right here in the United States. So keep an eye out if it just makes sending money a whole lot simpler, if you know what I'm saying. So now, why is this good for people? They're saying less complicated. Nobody wants to be messing with a bunch of steps to send a few dollars. You don't have to go into the you don't have to go into the PayPal, the Zelle, the Cash App. You can literally just pull out your credit card, put it up against their phone, and tap it. They can say how much money that you owe. Pull your debit card out, tap the phone, and then they get the cash as long as they have a Samsung wallet connected to it. Easy to understand. They said this isn't some new technology that requires a manual. It's just tapping phones together, simple and straightforward for folks who appreciate things that just work. And they're saying that this is super convenient. They said life gets hectic and remembering passwords and account details can be a little bothersome. So just tap and send, and that's a real plus when you need to send a little cash to family or split the bill with when you're out at a restaurant. And then familiar action. Most folks over 40 are already using the tap to pay or tapping their cards to pay at some type of store, whether it's the gas station, grocery store, or even at a restaurant, right? So this is just applying the same easy motion to sending money. And then lastly, they're saying it's secure. Samsung Wallet already has security measures in place. The new way to send money will likely have similar protections, which is important when it comes to your finances. All you do is pull out your debit card. If they have Samsung Wallet, they type in the amount of money that you need to send them. You tap it against their phone. Boom, the money is in their account. No debit card, no PIN codes, no nothing. As long as you have a NFC contactless card, the little chip reader, as long as you got that, you're good to go. Before I ask Mike what is his thoughts on this, I gotta ask you in the audience. This is where we're going. This is where the technology is going. Do you like tap to transfer? One, yes, this will save me time to transfer money. Two, no, I'm worried about my card getting in the wrong hands. Three, this is definitely innovative. Four, I see younger people using this more. Or five, if it releases for all phones, this will change the industry. One through five, let me know in the comments. Do you like tap to transfer? Mike, got to get your thoughts on this. Have you done tap to transfer? Have you done Zelle? I'm pretty sure you got a card reader somewhere. How does it work for you?
Yeah.
What do you think?
So for this specific one, I don't think much about it. Like it's okay. That's my literal thought about it. It's technically, I'm very sure it's secure because NFC technology is actually very good for Apple Wallet, Samsung Wallet, Google Wallet, Android Wallet. I don't know, whatever other wallet is available. Yes, it makes it easier maybe for like a new friend to pay someone else and vice versa. But we have so many options right now. So like you said, the Zelle. Funny story, when Zelle was forcefully connected to my which bank was it? Whatever. They basically like were trying to take money out of my account. There was fraudsters that they couldn't even deal with, and they closed my account. And then the bank is like, "Oh, we'll just open a new account for you." I'm like, "You can't protect me." Nope, I'm out.
Right.
So I have
All it takes is
experience with
once.
Zelle. Right. I know. I have very common daily experience with Apple Pay. I have a lot of experience with Venmo, and I know of so many other options, like you said, Cash App, etc. That this is just kind of another option that's many years late to like person to person money transfer game. So there, I think this is Samsung trying to take a percentage of that transfer share on the financial side, maybe from Venmo or Cash App, and try to kind of edge in the existing market.
Well, the way I'm looking at this is if Samsung pulls this off, you know that other Android phones, Apple is going to say this was successful and now they're going to make this a little bit more seamless for everyone, right? Not just
Yes,
teenagers, but even adults. I mean, just imagine if
absolutely.
I'm at CES or I'm at a convention and I see you and I say, hey, I would like your device or I would like your product. And you say, hey, well, you can get it for $19.99, $29.99, $49.99.
Right.
And then all I have to do is pull out my debit card. There's no card reader that I have to put it in. You can say I'm at the park for food or at a
Yeah.
food truck, and I'm just pulling out my debit card and I'm tapping it on my phone, and boom, there's the money. No questions asked, no PIN codes, no nothing. Now, I think that security, like you said, we're running into those issues. If that card gets in the wrong hands, they can literally just drain your whole bank account out, right? So I think that that's where the concern, the level of concern is there for me. Um, the audience
So I,
says, well, hold on one second. The audience says, no, I'm worried about my card getting in the wrong hands, and this is definitely innovative. Go ahead, Mike. What were you going to say?
so I'm gonna change, like, imagine technical hat, my technical background. The tap to pay from, for example, Apple or Samsung is actually even more secure than the credit card chip transaction. So for what it's worth, they don't pass any of your credit card information, and there's almost no way for that payer to steal that information. Um, you know, it's even safer, like I said, than the chip on the credit card, and it's a bajillion times safer than the Stripe method. That if you're from a couple of decades ago, you remember that being the major unsafe credit card payment.
Well, so to this one, I'm with so Shirley says I'm with you. It's just another app on my phone. I allude Cash, Venmo, and Apple Pay. The thing is, this is already on your phone. It's just
Right.
a new feature that's there. So if you have a Samsung phone, they're releasing this now and it's already there. So it's not like you have to download an app. All you have to do is no different from Google Wallet, right? So or Apple Wallet. It's
So
Samsung Wallet. Go ahead.
yeah, one thing, if this was a little more universal, this might be really, really disruptive in like small business retail space, because right now, like you said, what's the experience with credit card devices? It's still painful, right? So if I can just set up a phone and then have people come up and touch their card in the phone, touch their phone to phone transaction, and then retail that way pretty much anywhere. um, if they do this correctly and universally, this would be great for, like I said, small retailers, where without any setup, they can just, have a pop-up shop, or, and
Right.
move a bunch of, yeah.
Right.
So I can see it there.
And that's what they're doing. So this is Samsung's new technology. Remember, this is not a new app that you already have to download. If you have a Samsung phone, this is rolling out before the end of the year. If you have any type of business or if you're trying to make a transaction for whatever that transaction may be, not a credit card, but a debit card, you pull it out, pull your debit card out, you tap it on the phone, and then you get the money that that was requested. And they get it instantly because you've already set up your Samsung Pay, no different from you already setting up Google Wallet, no different from you already setting up Apple Pay. It's the same thing, it's just only Samsung Pay. Now, in the future, if this is successful, then I could see this coming over to Google Wallet. I could see this coming over to Apple Pay. But right now, this is just a technology where it's just a debit card with Samsung Pay that you already have if you have a Samsung phone that will be releasing this year. Tanya Blazer says, "Oh my," says I have Samsung Wallet, but but we have totally ignored it. I'm not a real tech savvy, and that's fair. This is why this show exists because these are features that you have on that $1,000 phone, right? That we have not used, and if it's a feature that you might need or you might find convenient for yourself, now you know that this is something that could be used or utilized on your end because you have that phone. um it says Shirley P says, oh my bad, thought that this was I thought it was another app. Oh, no, 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 this is already, it's no different from Google Wallet or Apple Pay. Is This is just their payment method. They're just adding some new technology to where you can use a debit card. That's it. That's it. All right, final thoughts. People said, I'm worried about the card getting in the wrong hands. I understand. I understand. Well, look, guys, we're at the midway point of the show, and let's see, what do we have here? Tall Boys got what? Hey, everybody, it is the Lab Tech Show. Come on over here and hit that like button, notification bell, and subscribe. It is the Lab Tech Show. Please embrace this technology. We got you. This is what we do every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We try to simplify technology in a language that you can understand, all right? So we're building, and we would like for you to join us. So come on, subscribe, like, and hit that bell button because we're live every week, all right? So join us. Be a part of it. It is a family affair. The Lab Tech Show. All right, Mike, we're at the midway point of the show, and this is your time to shine. You have a product that we had a chance to meet you out at CES. We showed your video on the show live. We posted it all over our social platforms. And now we said, let's get the founder onto the show. Let him tell us all about what Nudge is, what it can do, and why people need it. You see that there's people that have clearly admitted that they're seniors. They have clearly admitted that technology is not their thing, but now we want to simplify it and say, hey, you know what? This is something that we think that you might need. And without further ado, Mike, I'm going to give you the floor, and I present to you Nudge.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the intro. Thanks for all the references and promoting the video. The video is great. So if you haven't seen it, just check it out in the CES. Definitely going back next year, and I'll probably see you there as well. So a couple of words about Nudge before I start. We are a couple of years old, but we're still learning, growing, taking feedback, iterating, etc. So I might be talking about a lot of different things and use cases, because when it comes to taking medication, there isn't just one medication at one time for one person that is uniform. It really applies, to a lot of different people in different ways. So one big aha moment. So this is Nudge. You can see it's a very simple device. It's unplugged, but it does a couple of things. One is it basically senses when either, medication, supplement, some kind of bottle, or an organizer, is sitting and living there. And there's a sensor around Nudge that knows when things move. And then it basically says, put it back. We'll know that it moved or not, and, takes it from there. So Nudge does a couple of things. It reminds you to take medication, and then it automatically tracks that you've taken medication, right? So a lot of people, for example, use apps, which, after you take medication, you have to go on the phone, open an app, say that you logged that have taken it. So Nudge does that login for you, right? All you have to do is lift the medication, put it back, which is already part of you taking medication routine. And it's just jotted down as taken. Now, a lot of people come back and say, so here, perfect, there, you can see it in action. Thank you so much. And this is kind of non-eventful. When you take your medication on time, you take it, you put it back, you move on with the rest of your day. That is non-eventful. That's something that should be non-eventful. There's beeps in addition to lights, so that if you walk past it and you notice the light but you forgot, the beeps often kind of get me into the action time. This is a great feature as well. So based on whether the light is still reminding you to take medication or not, it lets you know whether you've taken medication. And I'm saying this completely practically from my use case. So one of the reasons that I've created Nudge, the biggest reason I created Nudge, is because I have to give medication to my son twice a day, every day, since he's 5 years old. So at 5 years old, he had a grand mal seizure, which is a horrible event no parent should ever go through. And I was very determined to give him medication twice a day. And I just knew with my memory iffiness, and I knew that I wouldn't be consistent. So that light that says, did I give him medication or not, kind of reassures me that, usually gave him medication. And this is especially reassuring when my wife asks me, did you give him medication? And I can't fully remember if it's a yes or a no, so I can rely by looking at Nudge. But there's more information in the app as well, so you can see trends, history, etc. And then there's two other big things about Nudge. So, like I said, if you take your medication, non-event, you move on with your day, everything's okay. If you don't take your medication and it just sits there, either flashing green or lit up solid green, after a long time that you haven't taken it, we're going to send you emails and notifications to remind you that you missed it. And then there's a way to configure caregivers feature, which I really urge that you set up. So for example, if it's a relative who really cares about your health, they can also get that notification that, hey, you missed a dose. And then they can look in the app and see, that you have been consistent or you haven't. And that's another way to kind of give that extra information and assurance that, you take medication on time. So yeah, and I am, and I'm probably going to talk a little more about it. So I'm just looking at the chat as well, and please, proactively ask me questions if you have, any kind of question about why this would or would not work. That's the kind of feedback I love hearing. So, one of the feedback I see is I have a, from Cheryl P. I have a 92-year-old uncle who lives alone independently who could benefit from this. Yes, exactly. So a lot of people use this to kind of see that they're, first of all, people taking medication consistently, but second of all, that they're taking medication and there's some movement and action. So one of my partners, you met him, Matt. You met him at CES. He's a great guy, but he has a senior, a mom who is a very advanced age, and she lives in very rural New Hampshire. So while she may not be super consistent in taking medications, again, the fact that he sees that there's movement, just about once a day, it may not be on time. That's okay. It reassures him that everything's okay, that she's still mobile, that she still gets around and gets to her pills.
You got a question here. Shirley says, have you marketed with caregiver services like home instead?
I have not. So there's so many marketing avenues that, to be honest, I'm still kind of trying to figure this out. But thank you. I will absolutely reach out and see if there's a way to market within there. Yeah.
Awesome Fun Thing says,
Yep.
Nudge seems great. If I have 3 medicines, is it recommended to get 3 devices?
That depends. So in my son's case, he has basically a suspension medication, which is a bottle. And then I take it off in the morning. It reminds me I take it off in the morning. It reminds me I take it off in the evening. So if it's the same medication at different times, no, you don't need it. If it's 3 different medications at the same time, like most people use an organizer and track an organizer instead of tracking medication. So I take a lot of supplements. I don't know if you can see it. There's like 5 to 7 supplements. I don't even track how many. But I take them all at the same time in the morning. So that's what I track in my case. If it's a combination, we've built this kind of as a prototype. So if you want this kind of twice a day, maybe 3-4 times a day, we've built out a special base Nudge for this. Right now, this is kind of a prototype with some feedback, but reach out. Maybe we can send you that one. So the answer is it depends.
So my question that I have for you is, let's see, what do we have here? My question is, how accurate is this thing? Does it really know when I take a pill, or is it guessing based on me picking up the bottle?
It's guessing based on you picking up a bottle. And that's a great question. That's such a common question. So we're doing our best, right? We call this nudge. We didn't call this like throw the pill down your throat, as an example. But this is a nudge for you to move medication and presumably take it. But the biggest thing that we kind of detect and fire up all our alarms for is when medication hasn't moved and it hasn't been taken, right? So that's the part that nudge detects even better. So while a lot of people say like I might move it back and then fake it, don't buy a nudge if you're planning to do that, right? This is meant for people, to either help yourself be better at remembering medications or to help loved ones to be better at taking medications.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
You got another question here. Well, not necessarily a question, actual response. So also rest. I guess you should also rest an online periodical called Caregiver Magazines to get more exposure.
I love that. I love it.
Look,
I'm
look, you're
doing it.
getting some gems tonight over here.
I, oh, no, I really appreciate that because um yeah, no, I really appreciate it because right now I'm kind of trying to go, I've done a lot to go into the retail market. But I'm also actually ever since we met at CES, which is Consumer Electronics Show, I've put a lot of focus in the last couple of months trying to go into the medical market. So couple of efforts there. Not just FDA listed and approved, right? So, but it's kind of class one. It didn't do the full verification thing, but it is a great device for, like I said, reminding and really making sure and going back in the history that you've been good at taking medication or your caregiver's been good. And then the second thing that people really had an issue with is if this is for especially like older seniors who are or just people who are generally not good with technology. The fact that Nudge works off of Wi-Fi and requires a smartphone was also kind of a blocker. Um, Again, in the audience, if you have Wi-Fi, if you have a smartphone, most people activate it within 2 minutes. We hardly ever get support calls about activation. Most of it is about usage and kind of advanced settings for more complex routines. But one thing I've done, this is going to be more for medical and but this is actually, sorry, I need to turn this phone on for full effect. There it is. Um, this looks glued together basically, but what this is when it's all plugged in, it's a nudge that works off of cellular. So our, um, anyone in a truck, anyone in very remote and
So if they're camping
regions
or if
without
they're a truck
Wi-Fi.
driver or something like that, that would be
Yeah,
something that would be ideal, is what you're saying.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
exactly. And we're almost there in finishing developing that version. But that's another feedback that I got from a lot of people that it's very easy to use, very simple you know, if you have a smartphone and set up stuff on your Wi-Fi. But for a lot of people that really needed this, it had to be simpler. So we front loaded all the pre-activation and we took away the Wi-Fi and replaced it with cellular and kind of solved those problems.
okay, so you got a couple comments here. Correction. Shirley says reach out to Caregiver Magazines.
Yeah.
Then awesome fun thing says for clarification, three total meds, one morning, one in the noon, and one at night. So you got to take the same medication, morning, noon, and night. Does he need three separate devices?
Um. Yeah. Yeah. Right now, yes.
Okay.
So, like I said, we'll in the future we'll do something like this, or maybe something that works with what's it called, like blister packs. But right now, yeah, for 3 times a day, it's probably 3 nudges. But again,
Um,
send us an email at contact@nudgedevice.com, and we can sort that out and give. This is like
Now,
about.
all of this is cool, and one of my favorite phrases is all of this is cool and this technology is great, but
Yeah,
how much does this cost? Because people are going to be like, is this worth their bottom line, if that makes sense? So how much does it
absolutely.
cost?
Absolutely, yeah. So nudge, kind of the base nudge. So this unit itself comes in this box. It's like 49. It's basically $50. I forget. It's 49.98 or 99 cents. So basically $50. And then if you want to add an extension for the organizer, so to have it, like a kind of a nudge organizer, that's $15. Um, But a little secret is if your organizer you already have at home blocks a light, it'll work. So, and one big thing about price is there's no subscriptions. Very hard believer that there's no people, especially in need of you know trying to be in their best and health. Um, don't need to pay subscriptions and complicate things. So if you buy it, it'll work as long as we're in business. And right now we have a good runway. It'll continue working.
You got some more questions over here. Let's see, what do we have
Excellent.
here? It says, what happens when the person doesn't take the meds or forego? Is there an audio nudge?
Yes. Yes. So literally what happens, let's say you set up a routine for 7 a.m., it starts pulsing green. So it tries to get you a visual cue. At 7:30, 7:45, and 7:59, there will be 3 beeps coming from nudge at 70 decibels. So that's going to try and that will kind of be the audio reminder for you to take medications. And then at 8 o'clock, that's when you start getting emails and notifications that you're late.
Hmm. Awesome, fun things. He's coming. Him and Shirley, they got questions for you, man.
All
They
right.
say, can the invoice for a nudge device be submitted to my flexible spending plan for reimbursement?
Yes, in short, you should be able to, but you should also be able to use your flexible spending card right on our website as well. So if you have FSA and we even kind of say it in the website. It's HSA and FSA eligible, so you can use that just to even buy a nudge.
I know you said 70 decibels, but how loud is 70 decibels? Is it like blaring loud? Is it just a subtle beep? Like,
It's a subtle beep. It's it's like a medium alarm clock, loud.
okay. Then we also have, how long does the battery last? We don't want to be paying for a device and then the battery dies out. How long does the battery last?
So there is no battery, which is great. So there's nothing for so-called to die out. And if you look at it, it comes pre-packaged with. Sorry, it's
Okay, hold
very
on. Let
faint.
me get you on the screen. Give me 1 second. So let me get
Okay,
you full on the screen. Give me
all
one
right.
second. There you
Yeah,
go.
but basically, right here you can see it comes pre-packaged with the cord and a charger. So just keep it plugged in. It will not die on you. A lot of people place it either in the kitchen cabinet or the bedroom nightstand, but there's no batteries. It actually doesn't take batteries because shipping batteries is a pain. Like you said, they die out all the time. So right now it's required to be plugged in. Um, and then later for the mobile version, we'll probably have some kind of battery bank that may travel with people, or we'll see. But right
Hmm.
now, it's just plugged in.
Got you. I got some more questions, man. Let's
Love it.
see. If the device messes up and I miss a dose, is there any kind of backup or fail safe? What happened if the tech just fails on me?
Yeah. Um, it it shouldn't happen. So if a device messes up and you miss a dose, let us know, because this literally means the device is not working, and it's been very thoroughly tested and it's been out for a while. So if a device fails out on you and you miss a dose, let me know, and we'll direct all of our developers' attention, testers' attention, etc., on what happened exactly. But yeah, there's been a lot of quality control and testing to make sure it doesn't happen.
Gotcha. For the hearing impaired, Shirley P says it might not be loud. Does it have flashing lights as well?
Yes, yeah. So the whole base lights up. And
Can you give them a
if you pull
demo,
up,
like real quick? I mean, do you have one to where you can set up the time for like 2 minutes from now to where people can actually see it? I'll pose some questions.
yeah,
Give you some time to set it all up, and you go from there. And that way people can see it. I know you can't really tell the loudness from the
I know.
actual live stream, guys, but we're gonna do the best that we can with what we have. But once again, this is Nudge. When I met him, I felt like, this was a device, knowing that we're trying to reach this older audience. We wanted them to find products that make sense for you.
Yeah,
Maybe not necessarily for you in particular, but you have a family member, you have a loved one, you're a caregiver, you know somebody. This is what needs to be done, if that makes sense. And as our loved ones are getting older, when this when we saw this product, I was like, look, we're coming back after lunch. I give you my word, I'm coming back. And a lot of people always say, I'm coming back, I'm coming back, I'm coming back.
yeah.
But they never come back. But to me, I felt like this was a product that made sense. I felt like this was some things that we needed to see, and wanted to put this out in front of you, and not give you just a video, but just also give you give you the actual use cases so you can see it, see how it works. You can hear from the CEO. So please keep those questions pouring in. Let's see. Awesome Fun Thing says, I've been using reminder apps for my meds. It's not ideal, but Nudge seems like a great solution, is what Awesome Fun Things is saying right here. So that's some positive affirmations right there. Let's see, what else do we have? We got some more questions that we got for you. So I know he's setting up in the background. Uh, he's
I'm
setting
here.
some things
Yep.
up. So while he's setting up, I'm going to leave him behind the scenes so you guys don't see all of this. I got you, man. I told you
I
I
know.
got
I
you.
know you do.
I got
Every
you.
time you came back,
Uh,
you have me then, you have me now.
so my question for you is, what's the long-term vision for this device? And are there any plans for upgrades or new features down the line?
The long-term vision is to address a very wide array of um, how people take medication and the importance of taking medications, right? So again, so we want to address medication packs, or the pre-assorted packs, the sheets of medication that seniors get as well. We want to make sure that it's completely painless to take medication and record again the fact that you take it. So the vision is still around making sure medication is um, reminded for better adherence and tracked. And then if people are not adhering, that we partner with the proper providers um, for support programs, right? So for example, right now, I'm I'm going to go in this sprint around people who you know uh, get treatments from they're trying to get off of different substance abuses, and a lot of the medications that they take are very important. And so if you don't take it, we basically want to make sure that the medical professionals are there to make sure that they don't slip off. So we're really looking at better partnerships and integrations with medical professionals to give you a full consultation on what you take, and you know um, interventions and everything around it. And when it comes to, again, physical device, absolutely, there's new features. So like I said, we're focused on cellular stuff right now. We're focused on mobility and making sure that people can just take it with you, for people who travel, etc. And then later, there's a lot of features planned as well for providing data to the medical professionals, kind of more for more en masse, like for everyone in the hospital, everyone in treatment, remote patient management, monitoring, etc. So
Okay.
it's a long answer, but there's no quick one on that one. It's a great
I,
question.
I know you're setting this all up, so I'm trying to refrain from some of these questions while you're setting it up so they can see it.
I see.
So just set it up for like
That's the way.
set it up for 2 minutes or 1 minute from now so people can see it flashing and the beep. But there was another question that I had here. Give me 1 second. I just saw it and I lost it. Give me 1 second. Um, mm, it was something about. Eh, we did the if you miss a dose. What's the deal with the family sharing feature? How much info can they see, and how can you control that?
They can see all the kind of events that you've taken or not taken. And right now they can see full history for the device. So if you have been using Nudge for 6 months, once you connect a family member, they'll see it for 6 months. Right now, there isn't a way to get more granular. So they'll basically have a read-only access to see your data.
So if you take the pill and you take the pill off of the nudge and put it back, they see that you took the pill. Am I
Correct.
saying that correct? And then
Yep.
if you missed a
Yep.
day, you didn't take it off. So that's not to say that someone took it off and put it back on. It's just you're hoping that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's correct.
Okay. Um, how user friendly is the app for people who might not be super tech savvy?
Um,
Is this going to be
Very.
something that people can navigate? Because we're trying to get people to embrace the technology, but is this a super friendly app or how does it work? Is it available on Apple and Android or only available on Apple? How does it all work?
Yes and yes. It's very super friendly. It's available on Apple and Android. So here you can kind of see the device going. So I configured this device. This is how bright it flashes right now. And anyway, so I apologize for the background, but here's the device itself. So right now, and I don't know if you heard that beep. That's the beep right now. It's not the loudest. Sometimes those beeps kind of get cut out, but yeah. And
Okay.
then
So
the
how
way that
often does it beep? Does it beep every 5 minutes, every 2 minutes, or does it beep
right
until
now,
you pick it up?
yeah. So right now it beeps. So you set up a routine, and it's time for you to take medication. Within that routine time, you're given an hour. It'll beep 3 times. So it'll beep at half hour, 45 minutes, and right at the end.
You got to raise
So
your
if you,
camera up. You got to raise you cut
yeah,
off. You
sorry.
raise your camera up. Yeah, your head is. We see your nose and well, no, we only just see your eyes. There you
Uh,
go.
okay.
Uh,
Anyways, there's such a short cord. It's probably like 4 feet. So
gotcha. Okay.
yeah, but we got to make do. So you can see it's flashing. Literally, you take it, and then it says, "Hey, you took it," and then it turns white. So the white light means it's not sensing anything. Something is empty. So if you, for example, misplace and don't place it well on the track, it's saying I don't see it. You need to block kind of that sensor window. So once you place it back, it goes off, and then you can see it says it's taken. It's taken within that time window that you've configured. So it's green in there. Um, and that's it. And that's basically your logging, your taking of medications. And again, I want to readdress that I've taken it off. I should have consumed my daily dose. I haven't yet. This is just a demonstration. But this is all you have to do is to kind of notice that it's been taken. So a lot of people, some people mentioned that they use the app trackers for their medication. There's a lot of scrolling and entering and confirming and swiping on notifications that are, maybe flying in, maybe not. But here you literally take your medication as you would, and that's it.
Gotcha.
Um, yep, I see that question.
What
What
if
if?
the person takes the meds but forgets to put it back on the Nudge device? Will Nudge alert to put the meds back on the device?
Yes. So right now, if they forget to put it back, like I said, the light stays white and it'll keep shining kind of brightly. But in addition to that, if the meds have been off the device for 1 hour, there's a notification and an email that's sent to the user saying, "Nudge is empty. Please put it back on the sensor." So we have
Will
thought
it
about
also
that.
send it to the caregiver or the caretaker that they forgot as well, or just only to the person that has the app?
This one is more to the person that has the app, because they're probably someone who can do something about it, because very often the caregivers are so remote that you know a bottle standing off the sensor isn't something that a caregiver will act upon.
Okay. Um, how are you building trust with customers, especially when it comes to their health information and the reliability of the device?
Great question. So first of all, we really focused on the privacy policy. We don't track any information. So if you download our app, whether it's Android or iOS, you will not get those pop-ups saying, "Hey, they want to track your information, throw a pixel and see what you're about." We don't have that. We turned that off, so you don't even have to opt out. And then another feature that we also thoughtfully created for this exact reason is, if you download our app and you want to activate Nudge, right now, the best practice is to give us your email and create a password for an account, but we can help you create an anonymized account. So literally, don't give us anything. Don't No emails, no names, no nothing. We don't track who you are. We don't know where your phone is coming from, etc. So we'll create an anonymized account for you that can activate a device and then have the routines beep, light up, and track everything for you. Um, but then make sure that you don't delete the app, because if you might have to reactivate it if you lose your anonymous logged in account.
So if you go anonymous, then if you forget, then you got to start all over, basically.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Shirley says, I'm recommending to my uncle's kids to watch this on the Live Tech Show. Hey,
I love it.
this is what this is for. Like I said, it's finding companies that make sense to us and say this is why we need these products, right? I mean, quite naturally, CES is great for gadgets and gizmos, flying cars, and AI, and all of that great stuff. And don't get me wrong, there's cool products for every last division, every sector of every category of every niche of whatever you want to call it, right? But this is just for the health sector, and I know that this is an area that's very rarely touched upon. But I also know that we're all getting up there in age. We all have family members, and at the end of the day, this is a tech product, and I want us to not just say, "Oh yeah, we saw the flying cars or the self-driving trucks," but hey, we also tapped into some serious matters as well. So yeah, that's kind of what we're here for. Once again, the pricing strategy, is it a one-time cost, or is there a subscription involved with the app or any other features?
It's a one-time cost, and you get everything. There's no subscription, there's no renewals, there's no upgrades. So right now you get everything. Yeah, because I'm trying to get customers, I'm trying to get feedback. So please buy. Um, you know, uh, I don't know if we mentioned this, but we've created the lab discount. If you go on the nudgedevice.com website, um, it should give you 10% off. And if you want to reach out, it's contact@nudgedevice.com. Because again, if you have any kind of concerns, feedback, I love hearing from customers, potential customers, prospective people, about why they liked it, and especially why they didn't like it, why it wasn't convincing maybe for them. So let's keep a dialogue, and I'm I'm all about that, and hopefully this will help people.
So once again, if they go to nudgedevice.com, and
Yep.
what do they have to do to get 10%?
There's the code the lab.
All
Just
one
one
word
word,
or
no
or
space.
two words? Just
One,
just
one word, no space.
all right. So guys, look, this is what it is. He's being gracious enough to give you a code for 10% off. All right. Go to nudgedevice.com. Go to the normal checkout process, type in the lab, so the space lab,
No
and you'll
space.
get
No space.
no space, all one word.
No
All right,
space.
so
One word.
all one word, the lab. All right, no spaces. Don't call me and say, Tall boy, the code don't work. The code works. The lab, all one word. The lab, one word, guys. One word. All right, the lab, and you'll get 10% off. And then let's see, informative show. Thanks, Nudge and Tall Boy. We got another question here from Tanya Blazer. Tanya says, "Hey, if you have 3 or 4 different daily pill bottles, how
Mhm.
would Nudge notify you to take each one? Would you need more nudges? Probably in your best interest to get the pill, what do you call it? The pill
Organizer.
box? Yeah, the pill
Yeah.
organizer. Get a pill organizer, put all your pills inside of each one of those, and then you go from there. Now, can you set it for 3 different times with the with the app? So say I
Yeah.
need to take my meds at 7, I need to take another one at 8, another one at 10, and then it will go off, and that way you know which one it is.
Yep. Yep. You can set up to 6 what we call routines, or basically times when you need to take a medication on one device, and it'll go.
All right, guys. So for $49.99, you can get the Nudge device, and then after that, if you want to get the extender, how much is the extender? Another $15, you said.
15, correct. It's 14.98, I think.
Okay, so $14.98, you get that and the pill reminder. So it comes with the extender and the pill
And the
box
organizer.
and the organizer. So can you show them what that looks like real quick?
Sure. So it looks like this, and hold on, this one is there's a little label I need to basically open. There you go. So it looks like the box looks like this, and then when you open it, it has the
The pill
organizer.
organizer. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then behind it is the plastic, um, the plastic thing that kind of helps you extend the nudge device for the organizer.
There you go. I like it. I like it. I like it. How are you measuring success of the marketing efforts and the overall impact this device is having on people's health and medication?
The marketing effort is usually measured by successful sales based on the marketing. On the business side, that's again, having worked alongside sales for 5 or so years as a sales engineer, that's the lifeblood of any business. And so what was the second part was more important. And then how do you measure the impact? A lot of personal stories, especially in leave a review. So a lot of people have been successful in making sure that their special needs kids are on good regimens and they aren't missing a beat. A lot of people are going through different um, antibiotic regimens for extended time, so they're making sure that they achieve their optimal health, and even if they feel better, they continue and not develop super viruses. I work with a doctor very closely who uses this for his HIV patients. So they want to make sure they need to take their antiretrovirals so that AIDS aren't developed because a few um, you know non-adherence happen basically. So it's hard to measure success in a very specific way, but these stories give me so much hope that it's any one of them is immense. It's great. It just makes me so grateful.
um, Tanya, he said this earlier. Can you use the any daily pill organizer box, or does it work with the one you showed us? So you can use any one. Is that correct?
You can use anything that stops infrared. So basically, if it's a solid box, you should be good. Like 90+% of boxes, it'll work on.
Okay. There
Yeah.
it is. Guys, nudgedevice.com. That's right. Nudgedevice.com is the website. Please feel free to go over there. Use the word the lab, all one word, 10% off. Not sure how long we're going to leave it up there, but hey, he's a family member of the show now that he's been on. And you guys, you're always welcome to come back if you have some new features. And they said Shirley wants to know, where are you located? Well, see, the questions are still coming. They know that this is an hour show, but
I know.
hey, you must
I'm in
have something
Boston
going
area.
because the questions are coming. So, where are you located? State?
I'm in Massachusetts. I'm in Boston area, Medford for all the locals. So there's a lot of hospitals and medical, partnerships that we're looking at. But yeah, I'm East Coast.
And Awesome Fun Thing says, boom, you have a new customer. You got me.
Thank you so much.
That's what's up. So
Yeah.
that's what it is. Real quick before we get up out of here, guys. You know how we do things around here. It's the brands, guys. Feel free to check us out. LabTechShow.com, your live production, and Tallboy.us. Lab Tech Show. This is where we get all the tech news. If you know a tech company similar as Nudge, invite them over to the LabTechShow.com, have them fill out the form, and we can get them to be a guest on the show. Your live production. Did you like this production? Do you know somebody that wants to be able to be a subject matter expert and don't want to handle the tech? Tell them to go over to yourliveproduction.com. And then if you need some video editing and all that other good stuff, they said I had the niche down. So you go over to tallboy.us and we got you. Don't forget that we're on Spotify and YouTube podcasts at The Lab Tech Show. We're also on Roku and Amazon Fire at TBE Media. And then if you would like to support the show in any way, shape, form, or fashion, you can do it on PayPal and on Cash App. Don't forget to think big, think tall boy. Why? Because think big, believe in God. Think tall, the sky's the limit. Think tall boy, because he said so and he's doing it. That's what it is, guys. And then lastly, you guys know what it is. Tall boys got what?
BJ here. I'm back, y'all. Did you know that Tall Boys got merch? Say what? Shop.tallboy.us. Make sure you click on all products and you get to see the selection of products that Tall Boy has. Now look, over here at shop.tallboy.us, we got everything from those tote bags to the trucker hats, coffee mugs, t-shirts, you name it. We even got some for the babies, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to break it down for you in a language that you can understand. I'm trying to keep it real with you. Shop.tallboy.us. You see the merch? We got everything from stickers, bucket hats, you name it. We even got tumblers. You got it all right here at shop.tallboy.us. All right? All you got to do is go on over there, find your selection, and when you get the product, tell Tallboy what you got, and he'll feature you on the show. Come on now. What more do you need? Shop.tallboy.us. All right, Tallboy, I gotta go, because you about to get mad at me. Back to you, Tallboy. Bye-bye.
All right, guys, as a brief recap, we talked Lyft Silver. That's right. If you know a senior that's looking to get a ride to and from their destinations or wherever they need to go, they now have an app or inside of their app, they're featuring seniors to where they get caregivers and family members can track where they are. They also have some other cool features that's there to where the seniors can get to and from to their destination, also in a more secure way. We also talked about Samsung Tap to Transfer. If you have a Samsung phone, you can now pull your debit card out, or if you're doing business with somebody owes you some money, you can pull out your Samsung phone. As long as you have Samsung Wallet set up, they can pull out their debit card, tap it on your phone, and you can get your money without using passwords, PIN codes, and all that other good stuff. Hopefully it rolls out to Android and Apple Pay or Apple phones as well, but right now it's only available to Samsung. Our word of the day was bumptious, and then last but not least, we did talk to Mike, where he discussed his product, Nudge. What'd you think of the show, Mike? Before we get up out of here, I think it's only fair that we do ask people what do they think of your product. So let's see what do we have here. Where is it at? There it is. What do you? Oh, no. Is that it? Come on now. I don't know what happened to it, but here. What are your thoughts on Nudge? I can't find the poll question, so you guys put in the comments right now. What are your thoughts on Nudge? And it appear right here on the screen. Let us know what you guys thought of Nudge, and we'll see where you guys are at. Oh, there it is. I found it. There it is. What are your thoughts? Or what do you think of Nudge? One, I need this in my life. Two, I like that it can notify others. 3, not for me. 4, this is cool but too pricey. Or 5, if marketed right, it will sell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let us know in the comments. What do you think of Nudge? Let us know. Before we get up out of here, Mike, any thoughts? What'd you think of the show? Now you've got a chance to see the full Tall Boy experience.
I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. I think you have a great show. I think you have a great audience. Very engaging, great questions. So I had so much fun.
That's what's up, man. Thank you so much. You're always welcome to come back. I'm sorry because I told you 1 hour. We actually went an extra 30 minutes.
It was engaging. I'm not mad.
But the show was very engaging. People said that they liked it. Sheila Baker said, thanks, Mike. I like it so much. I bought it already, he says. Mama D says, thanks, Mike. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. See Mama D
Happy
already
Mother's
making sure I'm not forgetting. Bye, TBJ. See, they love, the ladies love TBJ. I don't know what it is about TBJ. What did you think of TBJ?
He's a hoot. He's just, I'm picturing just, I don't know, multitasking, driving. Yeah, loved it.
Well, that's Reus, but I'm talking about TBJ, the cartoon character.
It's the technology is crazy. I think it's awesome that you can just like boom, and there's a talking cartoon right there.
Yeah, talking cartoon that talks to you in real time. And then I also had
We're in the future.
Huh?
We're in the future. Imagine I told you this like 25 years ago.
Oh yeah.
We're in the future.
Yeah. And then you had the avatar earlier. So that's my actual avatar. So I've already gave permission to clone myself, clone my voice. All I do is give it the prompt, and I can, while I'm sleeping, I can give out messages. So this is kind of where we are in 2025. So I hope that you embrace this technology as well as the others. And feel free. The show is every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. At the Lab Tech Show. So feel free to join us anytime. Jump in the comments. Let us know that you're here. If you got a free moment, bring your wife, your family, your kids. The kids might like TBJ, and then after the word of the day, they got to go to bed. Awesome Fun Thing says, did anyone ever say you look like John Cryer?
No. But he's a very successful actor, so I'll take it. I'll take it as a compliment. It's great.
That's
first, it's a first, but it's great.
That's what's up. Guys, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Mike, thank you so much for your time, for coming on to the Lab Tech Show. Being honest, don't leave. I'm going to just do the little final wrap and do the ending. Like I said, Lyft Silver, tap to transfer, Nudge. The word of the day was bumptious. Ladies, thank you guys so much for tapping in. I hope that you guys have a special weekend. And with that being said, it's another edition of the Lab Tech Show.
You already know.
Mama D told me to say it's Mother's Day. So y'all ladies have a great week. Enjoy the weekend. And I hope you get what you want on Mother's Day.